Welcome back to Stationeers. I'm Rob, and today we're back here in our coding school. Today we're looking at the gas sensor. The gas sensor comes in a kit like this, stackable of 5 in each. There is 5 different sensors in this kit, so daylight, motion, gas, occupation, and proximity. We are today looking at the gas. I built 2 identical small cubes, rectangular cubes, where we're going to have a sensor inside. So we're just going to pop it in here. And we can touch that away. Now let's get out our tablet. So if you look at this one, you can see we have a lot of things. So we have the pressure of the room where this one is located inside. We have the temperature in Kelvin. So you have no idea how to read this, obviously. This value for you as a human wouldn't make any sense. What we're going to do today is we're going to convert this, we can read this value, convert it into Celsius so you can use it in a normal base. Then if you want to use it as Fahrenheit, we can also do that, but it's the same thing, so you could technically just read out the conversion rate and then convert it to Fahrenheit afterwards, or whatever. There's also all the other things it reads. So it reads the ratio of the different gases in the room, so which gas we have most of. So in this room I have a lot of oxygen because I've dumped a lot of ice in here, and then the ratio in the liquid. So you see it reads a lot of things, but right now we're just focusing on the temperature. And as you can see, it works without any power. It doesn't take any power and doesn't need power. Next off, what you can do if you want to, we can just do a quick one here. If you just want to read temperature in a room, let me just get some cable. I think I have that here. Yes, we can pop that here, like so. This display can show show temperature. Let's grab that. Let's turn him on. He's now taking 50. Not nice. And then you can take him to gas sensor, put him to temperature, remove your data card, the disk, and then you have the temperature. So this is what it's reading. And you see this is accurate to what we have down in our external environment display on our character. This we can't use for anything either because we can't read this. You see, nowhere here it actually says the 26. So you can't use this for logic. Just saying. It's nice for display, but it's useless for anything. Let me just get rid of this one again. It's useless for anything controlling. So we don't look into that anymore today, because we don't need that. Go away. So we want that just to see it, just to show it. We can turn it on already. Come on. There we are. And I'm gonna pop one over here as well. Just to make it easy just to same. Now, let's do some calculation stuff. So first we need a I/O. We're gonna pop him there like we did last time. Oh, we need a writer as well, of course. Next up we need a math unit. That's this one. And we want him to face the correct way, like so. And we need a memory. Where I can put that? We can put that in here, it doesn't matter. Let's wire all this up. Right, so this is not the ideal way to wire it up. Just so you know, this is a very crude way to wire it up. However, this is how I've done it. Basically, every single port has been connected to a to each other. We now need set the reader for the gas sensor. So go into the device to the in point, select gas sensor, and we want to read temperature. 21, and see, very big number. Now, we want this one to convert this value to Celsius. How do we do that? We will subtract a certain amount from this value. So let's take our labeler, go in here, mark a screw, then you can write directly to the memory chip. You can write, we can write 273.15. 15. There we are. And now it has the memory. Lovely. We don't need to do any more with this one. Let's just turn this one on. This one on. Okay. Because this one is actually not necessary, just to see how much power this section uses. And you may be able to calculate already if you saw the last video, but yeah. Let's do the writer first, because he's easy. In is the math, so what he has. Out is the small display, and the variable is the setting. So right now it's nothing, because first of all he's off and he's not doing anything. Right, so how do we do this math unit? Well, we want to subtract this amount from this amount. So on one, we take the reader. On the number two, we take the memory. If you have multiple devices, it would be a good idea to name this one. So right now he's called logic memory. You could call him memory conversion rate Celsius. Conversion rate Celsius. Like so. Or something. You don't need to write it. No, just so you know what you're gonna get. Because right now, if you can see here, we start to have a few things. So now we have a conversion rate Celsius right there. We want to do a subtract. Right, let's turn on. And he's now getting a nice reading, 25.44. Down here we have 25. Seems about right. So this is the temperature in Celsius, with all the digits afterwards, which you don't care about, because you want to do whole numbers. And this is only in this room in here, so we can actually close this off here. So, and he's still reading it in there. We're now using 30 watt, and we can turn him on. So we have it in a nice displayable way, so we can see this is the temperature. So you could put a label above to show this is temperature if you want to. But yeah, easy way to do it. Great, now we have our temperature. How do we do it over here? Because we don't want all that math unit and all this stuff. We just want this one to write to this one. And of course read from this one. I've emptied everything, so this one is empty. So we do import, it's empty. Good. Let me just quickly wire everything up, and then we will get going. Awesome. He is now wired up. Let me just get my screwdriver out because we need that in a bit. So what we need is we need to read this one, we need to write this one, and we need to calculate. But as you can see, this looks a lot neater than all that over there. Anyway, let's get to it. So in our tablet, I think in the next episode we might use a computer, but not a tablet. Not a laptop, sorry. So we want to do alias. I don't know if I showed last time, but I will show this time. We're going to do sensor, and then D0. Alias display D1. Right, let's just confirm this. and export. As you can see right now here, it says nothing. It just says, it doesn't say anything useful on these. If you take these two, if you take this one, put it in here, it doesn't go to error because they're not used, but it gives the name. So these two are now named sensor and display, because that's what we've named in our code. Right, let's do the thing that we forgot last time, the jumping sequence. So just, let's say start, and do a jump, start. But we need these dots, otherwise it doesn't recognize this as a function. But you see that it changes the color straight away to be correct. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to do a load. We want to load center, and we want to load into register 0, register, and we want to load the temperature. So temperature. Now, when we load, let's just do a set db setting, and then the R0. Confirm, export this, pop in there. And see, he's of course in error, and that's because we haven't given him the sensors. So let's just take them. So we have gas sensor and display. So again, now you can see the actual Kelvin variable, the Kelvin temperature in this little room here, which again we can't use for anything. What are we going to do next? We're going to do a preset value in a register. So move. So we just move some value into it. So we do into R1, and we want to do the 273.15. Now here's a place where we can save some code. So we want to calculate this with that, but we don't need to use R2. So the code we're going to do, we can remove this one now because we don't need that. Let me just remove that because that's annoying to listen to. We can do, so we do a sub for subtract. We're going to do R0, and we're going to subtract R0 with R1. This means that the value that we already had, which is here, will be subtracted with this value and be the new value in R1. Then we go down and we start over. So this will keep on happening. So now we can do a set display setting R0. So that's saving a register, which is quite nice. Let's pop in here. And let's turn him on. So, as you see, this is already working. Looks nice. Going up and down. And you can see we're using 100 watts, or that we're using 80, so that's 20 watts different. That means that if we add just 2 blocks more, this is actually better, or equal. We're almost on the limit to what is feasible to use with logic. The only primary reason you want to use logic for more is it's cheaper to build. That's the only reason. In the next episode we will continue on this exact setup for some control in here. Heat control, a very basic heat control, but it's just to show you how we can use control, how we can play with this value here. But that'll be next episode. We might also do a third one with pressure. Let's see if we do that. But then you can see where we are, where this one becomes too expensive compared to that. But that's in the next episode. As you know, I'm trying to make it short and quick. So until next time, take care, everybody. Bye for now.